And ladies and gentlemen, we are live. It is December 28th, 2021. We are just a couple days away from the new year, but right now we are in the present. This is the Voice of Reason podcast in the year of 2021 after zero. And as always, my name is Sean Phillips, and today I am joined alongside my not one but two
That's
co-hosts, Mr.
right,
Andy Oliver
baby.
and Travis Kirkendall. Gentlemen, how are we doing today?
I'm
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 back.
I'm just
I'm
doing
back.
I'm just doing a dance in my pants because I see Travis Kirkendall on my screen again. I don't know about you, Sean, but my little peepee just went.
My
Okay.
my
Okay.
I have been in the waistband since we got onto the Zoom call and before we went live. So thank God I wasn't wearing denim because it'd have done ripped.
Oh my
It
god.
so
Yeah,
so Travis,
Now he won't come back for three more months. That'll be great.
that's all right. Travis,
I
it's
knew you
been a
guys were
while
happy I was
since
back. I didn't realize you were that happy I was back.
Well, you just thought
always.
you just thought we had a highlighter in our pants or something.
No,
Yeah,
sir.
right.
So Travis, it's been a while since we've had you on. We've missed you. We've missed you a ton. We're so glad you're back, and we're hoping that as things do settle down for you, you're able to be on with us weekly again. We completely understand things have been crazy for you there in Chicago. But how are things? How have the last couple of months treated you, and how happy are you to be back?
Super happy to be back, man. Yeah, you guys know it's been a crazy past couple months for me just with work and family stuff and just trying to get things organized here. But I'm as of now, like I'm planning to be back every week. Super excited to be back, and things have been good. Kind of, getting everything settled, and I appreciate you guys working with me for the time off, and I'm just happy to be back on.
I was really happy to meet your lovely wife. The other or couple, I guess it's been what now? 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. And man, we had some lovely conversation. I said, "Take care of my boy," and and she was a very lovely woman to talk to, and you guys. All I have to say is that you guys both are like dating and married way above your pay grade. That's all I
This
can
is
say.
this is how this is literally how I splice it. We are like the Mark McGuire and Barry Bonds because what we're doing it's way too good to be true, baby.
Oh
It's
my
way
god!
too good to be true.
When I walk
There's
in,
secret sauce going on at the
I
end of the day.
yeah, and I was like, how in the world are these two goofballs who I knew, when I saw them in high school, I was like, these guys are never going to date anybody. But now I'm so proud of you guys and that you've got great ladies who are taking care of you, so that's good.
They are, yeah, yeah.
Very
We
lucky.
are
I'm very lucky.
very very lucky to be in the situations we are, and I count my blessings every single day because. At least for Tony, she's got the option to up and leave whenever she wants to. So I'm gonna knock on wood that it's not anytime soon. So we'll see. Travis, at least he's got his legally locked in for a little bit. So
Well, the only difference with your situation is mine is she can actually take half of everything I have. So
Well,
yeah,
this is true. This is true.
that would
Yes.
never happen. No, that's not going to happen.
yeah,
I'm very
yeah,
grateful, very lucky. And yeah,
extremely.
it was cool that you guys finally got to meet her. Well, Andy, you got to meet
Yeah,
her
I
real
got
life.
you. Yeah,
Now,
Sean. I mean,
Mhm.
I didn't even, as far as I knew, she could have been just some kind of post-up pinup that you were, you know, heck, I don't know. So
but
Yeah, no, I
how was the Christmas, boys? That's what I want to know.
Sean, go ahead and go first. Tell us about your Christmas.
Christmas was great. Wow, we spent it the weeks leading up to it. Obviously, we were quarantined. I am happy to say everybody in the house is feeling extremely well back at work. It is kind of funny, and we'll get into this part here in a second, actually. But it was funny how we had to do the 10 to 14 days of quarantine, and then the day that Tony goes back to work, and my second day of work down in St. Louis at MEPS, the CDC
Daddy,
changes 5 days quarantine
Daddy,
if you test positive
Dad,
for COVID. So
Daddy.
I thought that was kind of funny. That
Tell Julian it's time to go to bed. Is that me or is that my? Oh, that's my daughter. Never mind.
That's you. Yeah, yeah.
I heard that. Yes, dear. Say hello. Say hello to everybody out there in Facebook land, dear.
I don't care.
Okay.
It's Facebook, apparently.
Okay. All right. Good night. Go.
Night,
We are the metaverse.
Yeah, we are the meta.
Yeah, it's meta now.
Yes, it is
Meta.
meta. It is
Right.
meta, and I was not aware that that was that was they purchased everything. I guess didn't they?
Yeah,
Uh,
I just call it the Matrix.
Yeah, right. No kidding. I need to watch that.
I'm working my way through it right now. I'm watching on HBO
Yeah.
Plus, and
Are you?
oh my gosh, it is so good. It is so good.
But
Yeah.
as far as the rest of Christmas goes, it was great. We just stayed home. We didn't go out. We didn't do any traveling. So we're gonna do that this upcoming weekend to do our family Christmas and everything. But it was really great. This was kind of the first year that Julian really was excited about Santa and kind of had an understanding of what was going on.
Good.
So that was a ton of fun. Next
cool.
year is going to be even more fun. But all in all, I've got no complaints. I'm blessed with incredible friends and a beautiful daughter, a beautiful girlfriend, a beautiful family. And so Christmas this time of year and life in general are phenomenal.
That's good. That's good.
Awesome.
I just returned from why we didn't have it yesterday. Well, we weren't live yesterday. We were in Naperville. Went up there Christmas Day. Came back home, and on my way through, I developed this nice little cough. And of course, when I'm coughing out in public, it's like everybody's looking at me like, COVID. I just want to wear a sign that says, I've had COVID within the last month, and I'm okay. This is, and so when I went to my doctor yesterday, she's like, well, so do we need to, because she didn't know that I had COVID because I got tested over here. And then when she said, oh, we should test for COVID. Oh, never mind. I see here where you've already had it. And I was like, yeah. So, but no, that was interesting enough. So now I'm on an inhaler and steroids and everything else now to try to.
Oh God.
So.
Travis, how about you?
Christmas was good. We came back to Missouri, and I didn't get to see all my dad's side of the family, unfortunately. But my brother, I didn't get to see him either. He's been homesick. He's doing better though. I got to see the majority of my mom's side of the family. So me and Danny went out and just had good family time and pretty relaxing Christmas. It was overall pretty good Christmas. Family was the most important part of it, and that was, it was good. That's all I can say. But we're back here, and yeah, it went really well.
That's good.
Good. That's awesome, man. That's
It was.
that's what I like to hear.
Yeah, it was my Nana's last Christmas. That was kind of the hard part about it, but she had a really good time. She got to see all of us, and it was a really good time. So, yeah, it was a good Christmas for sure.
Good.
It's good.
Good. It's always nice. The holidays for some people can be pretty stressful, and V and I had kind of talked about it last week. For anyone that does listen or knows people that listen, again, we understand this time of year can be difficult for people. So if that's your situation, always feel free to reach out to us, and we are there to help point you in the right direction or be lending ears. So with that said, I would kind of like to like I had kind of just said, to talk to you guys quick before we get into our main subject of today. Just some things that I saw that were kind of interesting. As I had said, one of the big things the CDC released today, that quarantine time is basically cut in half. If you test positive for COVID, but you are asymptomatic, meaning no fever, no cough, anything like that, then 5 days. 5 days is all that it's required for your quarantine. Now, what I found super funny about this, when it just scrolling through Twitter, um, was usually when it comes to things like the CDC, the FDA, Fauci, all those holier than
Clowns.
thou entities that we've seen. Um, it's funny because a lot of people have pushed like this is the holy doctrine that we follow. You talk to your local health department. That is, they are who we follow. We follow their rules, what they say. And when it comes to, people that I'm pushing one thing, they're always pushing, you're not listening to the FDA, you're not following the CDC guidance, yada, yada, yada. But then when this comes out, now all of a sudden, those that were preaching that they were the be end all, the answers, the follow along, I saw so many people today that were just like, oh, the CDC just doesn't care about the people anymore. FDA doesn't care about the people. The government has completely given up and just wants people to go back to being robots because of COVID. And it was a great way to start my Tuesday. I actually thought that was kind of amusing. So, what do you guys think about the 5 days now?
Well, isn't this? I was reading a transcript of Dr. Fauci on. He was on ABC, their Sunday morning programming, and how he had said that um, that we should. Well, it was the one before Christmas. It was the Sunday before Christmas. I think I sent that to you too, Sean. But he had
The
said,
airplane one.
"Oh, that one was pretty freaky too." But the Fauci basically said, it would be in your best interest if for family gatherings that you asked members of your family who weren't vaccinated to stay away. And I was really, really, we're really coming down to this. This is what it's coming to. So screw you, family. We're going to go with But at this point, and we're still not any closer to knowing how this thing really works, because now they're saying the Omicron or whatever it is has the same symptoms as the common cold, which is the common cold is a coronavirus in and of itself, is it not? And I'd like
Like a
to.
C virus is what you're saying?
Let's say it again, Travis.
It's technically like a C virus, I think
Yeah,
is
yeah,
what they
yeah.
call it.
And so I'm like, okay, how about just taking some Nyquil or what? At this point, I mean, and you're not seeing deaths from this variant, you're like, okay, so what are we supposed to do with this? Is this back to I mean, I saw where Saturday Night Live went back to, not that I watched Saturday Night Live, but I saw that they went back to having no audience again. And I couldn't remember if it was California or New York that said they are 100% saying that you cannot go to any public gatherings of any kind without proof of vaccination.
I know that's New York, for sure. No public establishments, just because Kyrie Irving is unvaccinated NBA player. For those that don't know who Kyrie Irving is, he plays for the Brooklyn Nets, and he can play at any away game. The only Well, with the exception of playing at the Knicks. So the two places he can't play are in Brooklyn for the
In
Nets, and he
in
cannot play against the Knicks in Madison
Madison
Square
Square.
Garden.
Mm-hmm.
But everywhere else in the United States, he can play away games. So what I have heard,
It's crazy.
and from what I've seen and read, the research that I've done with Omicron, it seems to be, yes, there are still people that are having severe complications. Naturally, that's with all strands of COVID, but Omicron seems to be more of it is the most transmissible
Yes.
form of COVID that they've
Yes.
seen.
Mm-hmm.
However, its effects apparently are the least deadly or
Yeah.
dangerous. So that's kind of where, yeah, it's kind of falling in that category as the common cold kind of thing, because there are so many people that are getting it that are asymptomatic. Like if you look at the NFL, They're saying that like 90%, if not higher, of the new COVID cases that they're getting are all Omicron. But like almost all of those cases are asymptomatic cases. So,
Well, I know that it, and just jokingly saying this, that I've noticed that like when I was playing, the guy who I was playing fantasy against this week, fantasy league, he's like, we were both commenting how we were out there and you had to shop around for all these different players because, like at the last minute, okay, oh, this guy's in COVID, and this coach, I knew there was a couple of coaches, I couldn't remember which one it was, but it was a game I was watching, and can't think of who it was. There were two coaches that were their assistant coaches were taking over for them because they were under the COVID protocol. And I guess did not, was it last week or the week before last that the NHL had to reschedule a whole slate of games and move them back a couple of days because of so many players were testing positive?
yes, the NHL just made an announcement that they're not allowing any of their players to compete in the Olympics, and then also, if I'm not mistaken, I think they legit just shut the league down for a couple of days in order to rearrange part of the schedule.
I did not hear that. So NHL.
And I now don't quote me, but what I had heard, and again, this is why I said don't quote me, because I feel like I had heard this and I had not read this, but I know for sure that they're not allowing people in, they're not allowing their players in the Olympics. But I thought that they had ceased games for like 2 days or something. Yeah, it was kind of crazy. And I know like the NFL, I think it was like a record where the most third string quarterbacks played in games like this past week. I think it was like 4 teams were down to their third string quarterback, and I think like 6 or 7 teams had backup quarterbacks playing this past weekend.
Travis, why don't you share with us what you were telling us about what was going on up in Chicago, man? You said it was going to be beginning January the 3rd or whatever it was.
Yeah, January 3rd, I guess Mayor Lightfoot announced that starting the 3rd, you have to show proof of vaccination in restaurants, gyms, and I don't know what other indoor establishments, like bars, that kind of stuff. I don't know if like, grocery stores and all that are involved in that.
So is that going to be one of those things where where it's self-policing, or is there going to be? I just wonder how they're going to police that.
I don't know. And I know you were saying in Naperville, you said
I saw signs. I saw signs on a couple of restaurants that said beginning January 3rd, we will adhere to Chicagoland, whatever.
Yeah, I haven't seen any signs yet. I mean, I was just at a restaurant yesterday. I didn't really pay attention for it. And I was just at the grocery store today, and I didn't see anything about it, but I don't know how it's going to work. I don't know if they're going to have somebody like posted up at the door checking this. I don't know how they're going to really be enforcing it. All I know is I'm leaving here very, very soon. And that's coming from someone who is vaccinated. And yeah, it's absolutely crazy in my opinion.
And Sean, to reiterate your point, NHL.com said NHL players will not participate in 2022 Beijing Olympics. The league announced Wednesday.
Yep. So I mean, it'll be kind of interesting. As we know, sports are kind of the driving force of entertainment in the United States. So it wouldn't surprise me once the owners start losing money, that's when they start barking at their politician friends to make things kind of change and shuffle things around. Like if you look, the CEO of Delta was talking with the CDC about trying to adjust restrictions and stuff like that on airplanes. So it'll be kind of interesting to see.
And that was another interesting story too from the weekend. I think I shared that one with you too, Sean, about the gentleman on the airplane who did not have his mask on, and some lady was walking by and she said, "Put up your effing mask," and he kept on like calling her Karen and all this stuff and everything. Okay, Karen.
You want to know something funny? Get this. A bunch of articles have come out about that story. For those that haven't seen the video that he's talking about, we will share it after the podcast.
I'll see if I can bring it up here.
But one thing, V, that it's not in the video. Get this. The altercation did not start because he was not wearing a mask. The altercation started because apparently the food and beverage cart was in this woman's way, was
Oh,
either
yeah,
like
yeah,
blocking
yeah.
her
Yeah.
or something along those lines. And she made a comment. Now, this is a white woman who actually was previously an extra or a small character in Baywatch, had been in Playboy.
Really?
Yes, yes. But this woman claimed that whatever I don't know the exact quote, but she had said she had compared herself to Rosa Parks because of the food cart, of how it was disrupting her. So the guy in question in this video that she's freaking out, yelling at him to put a mask on and all this stuff, had allegedly just was like, "That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard." Like that's completely irresponsible and a like disgrace. And then she started losing her mind about him not wearing a mask. Whereas in the video, her mask is pulled; it's a chin diaper that she's wearing the whole time. So and then they're arguing and he's not backing down. She punches him in the face. He stays calm, and she ends up getting arrested after the flight, like when they land. Yeah, it's their what are they like COVID Karen or something like that
Yeah.
is what they were calling her all over. It was a rather
Um,
interesting video.
what's bad is I'm trying to find the. Oh, is this it? Yeah, she slaps the guy too, right?
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
I am going to.
What is wrong with people?
Well,
I'm going to send this to you, Travis, so you can watch it. If we can't get it up,
Yeah, I need to see this.
if we can't get it up today, we will definitely get it up for you guys after, or not during the show. We'll definitely get it up for you
yeah,
guys
this
afterwards.
is.
So.
If you've got the. Oh man, I see it, but it's like through this other. Let me see here. There's a number. What's bad about it is there's a, so Washington Post has this thing on it. It's like montage fights on planes over mask. I'm like, it's becoming if this is becoming a thing to where it's like, let's see if this is it. Let me look here.
Well, I remember when the mask issue that we first started seeing on planes, at least at first, wasn't so much adults wearing them. The issue was like people with very small children were getting
Right.
kicked off planes because their kids wouldn't wear masks. And
Uh-huh.
then that led into videos of like children crying and then people complaining about children crying, but they were upset because of like, and then it just turned into adults acting like children that didn't want to wear masks and freaking out and trying to hit people while they were on planes. It was definitely quite the turning of the tide. I would definitely say that plane mask fights became the best kind of like world star hip hop fight videos that we're so reminiscent on back in the day. So
Okay, I think I've got. Let me see if I can pull this up now. I've got the clip here. Let me pause this.
Travis, with you being in Chicago, have you seen any altercations or anything interesting or people refusing to go into a place just because they weren't wearing a mask or anything like that?
I saw. I've only seen something one time, well, two times, and it wasn't really altercations. It was like one time I was at the post office, and some guy was in there, and they're immediately everyone, like all the workers, are like, "You gotta have a mask. You gotta have a mask." And this was like months ago. I remember that, and then I remember when they brought back the mask mandate to Chicago after that there was a period of time where if you were vaccinated, you didn't need a mask.
Right.
It was like a couple of days after they brought back the mandate, there was a couple that went into my grocery store down the road here. And of course, the guy at the front door, he has to tell everybody. He goes up to me like, "You got to have a mask to be in here." And they pretty much just looked at him and said, "No, we're not doing it." And they just kept shopping. He just kind of just walked away and nothing happened. So,
By the way, this lady.
I've never.
Go ahead, Travis. I'm sorry.
Like, if I'm in the city, I'm not going to get too into this, but like if I'm in the city, I wear it. If I'm out in the suburbs or like anywhere else that's not Chicago, I don't wear it. And I've never had anybody come up and say anything to me about it.
Right.
But I've never had any altercations with it.
The woman's name is Patricia Cornwall, and she was an ex Baywatch actress. The way that the little thing here described. So let's see if we can get this to work. We'll try it real quick here. Let me switch over to this.
Yeah, it is. It is definitely a very
And then if you do something like this,
entertaining video.
how
I
about
hope our
this?
listeners
You can't
enjoy.
fly for 10 years.
Oh, it's their video. It's their video. But no, she's like they arrested her as soon as she got off the plane.
Yes,
And
and from my understanding is
she can't fly for 10 years.
correct. And yeah, apparently like there's because it's I don't know the specifics, but my understanding is that it was a federal assault charge.
Because
So
she
which
slapped the guy.
carries
She slapped the guy and spit on him.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But I mean, where are you guys at? So, I mean, science is telling us. Well, the mask. If you look on the side of these mask packages that these things come in, it says this does not prevent COVID.
here's my
So
two
what is
cents
this?
on it.
What's the science? What is the science?
My take on it for me personally is look, I'm a lot like Travis. If I'm in a place that requires a mask, I'm going to put a mask on and go about it, not have any issues. If a mask isn't required and I don't feel like I need to wear one in that situation, I don't. But if someone ever asked me to, like if I was going out with a group of friends or was going to go see some people that I knew and they were like, hey, can you put a mask on? I don't have any issues doing that. For me, it's quite literally goes on, it comes off. The worst part about masks for me is I have a huge nose and I can never really find any that are like comfortable and don't press down on my face. But at the end of the day, where I live, none of the businesses out here require them. So I don't really see masks very often anymore unless I go down to the city.
Right. Well, and I think that's. I'm with you on that. If somebody says, "Hey, I think back in 2020, I was pretty belligerent." I'll be the first to say that I was pretty belligerent when it came to I'm not going to wear a mask, that kind of thing. But now I'm just like you guys. I'm just like, okay, if they, yep, and we carried when we went up there, when we went to check into the hotel, we stayed in Warrensville, which is, I guess that's what is that? That's west of Chicago, I guess, and
Yeah.
and they said, have a mask on, and I went in there, and I was like, she was just like, come on, and but
once you get out of Chicago, and even like when I was, because I've done a lot of work up in Wisconsin, like in like pretty city area, like rural areas, and not rural, urban, and even there, like the hotels, restaurants, it's like even like working in Milwaukee area, no, but as soon as I come back to Chicago, it's a completely different story.
what I'm afraid of though is that people are. I am afraid. I said this to my wife today though, and I think Sean and I talked about this a couple of weeks ago. By this time, don't you think though that the people who are going to get the vaccine have gotten it, and those who aren't going to get it aren't going to get it?
No, some people aren't going to change their mind.
Yeah.
And I think, unfortunately, and this is an old topic we've always come back to, and it's like the divide. And people are so set in their ways, mask, no mask, vaccine, no vaccine, that you're not going to change their mind.
Yeah.
And further pushing something is just going to increase it and make the tensions higher and higher.
Right.
But this is like I said, this is a topic we've been talking on since the very beginning.
Beat the horse to death, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I will be interested. The last thing I just want to add before we get into the good stuff, the fun stuff of the evening, is I am interested to see, like, with more mandates coming out in metropolitan areas, with the military requiring people get vaccinated or kicked out, I will be interested to see, like, that's what they're saying now. with them making these mandates, I will be interested in seeing, like, what if these things lift, or what if things change in about 4 months,
Right.
5 months.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that are going to be extremely, extremely angry because they had to get a vaccine to keep their job, or to just be able to go to the grocery store in the town they lived in, and then in a couple of months the regs might change on it. So as we go by, I will be interested to kind of see how that goes. But that is for another day. So for those that are listening to us, whether you guys are joining us live, whether you guys are listening to us in the car tomorrow morning, wherever it is you guys listen to us, where you guys enjoy us, we are going to talk about our New Year's resolutions. And I am actually really excited about this because I love 2021. There was good, there was bad, there was a lot of joy, there was sadness, but I would say overall, the friendships that I made with my friends, the connections that I had, I really did enjoy. There were some, bumps in the road, but for me, 2021 was actually a pretty good year. And 2022, I am happy to say I am really excited to hit head on, in full stride. I've got a great list of things that I am wanting to tackle this year and attempt this year, and failing is okay in my book. I'd rather fail and say I tried, as opposed to sit there and wait till 2023 to add it to the list. So, gentlemen, is there anything particular? First off, how was 2021 for you guys, and what are some things that you guys are excited about for 2022?
Go ahead, Travis.
Um, this is something I've been thinking about a lot, so it's kind of cool. This is the episode I finally get to jump back on. 2021, I learned a lot, and made a lot of mistakes, but with mistakes you learn. And with that, I'm kind of using the lessons I learned to kind of guide me through the next year. And but overall, it was a good year. I mean, it was kind of a big year for me. I just got out of the Army at the end of 2020, so this was kind of the year where I was trying to kind of figure things out and start a new career and all that stuff. So I mean, overall, good year. I'm thankful for it, but I'm really looking forward to this next year. I got a really good game plan, I think, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Learn from the mistakes.
That's good. I think probably for me, and I said this when I was talking with you guys at the wedding. To me, 2021 was incredible in the fact that this very project right here was a kind of a I don't want to say dream. It was a goal realized, that something that I had mulled around for years, and I didn't know how to do it. With saying, I have I did this thing called the musings of a school teacher, where I would do a Facebook Live, and I didn't know quite how to approach it or how to do it. I didn't know the first thing about doing a podcast, and when Sean approached me about the idea, I was very open to the idea, and building the relationship that I've built with you guys through this medium, and then us talking, and then seeing you guys. I mean, my heart was, and I'm not saying this, so we can start making out or something, but I was.
I don't know. You were excited to see me earlier.
I was, and but seeing you guys at the wedding brought it full circle to me, that I was like, thank you, God. Seriously, thank you, God, for blessing me with an opportunity to share, what goes on in our heads, and that we can provide a vehicle, and that we have the people that we've reached out to. I mean, we're close to 500 followers on Facebook. We've, I didn't know if you saw, or Travis, or if Sean shared. We have people in different parts of the world who randomly listen to us, which is the coolest thing. But for 2022, I think I'm really approaching the point in my life at 47. When I was 44, I went on this weight loss journey, 44 into 45, and I had gotten down to the lowest weight that I had been in my life. I'd gotten down to 283 pounds, and I stepped on the scales yesterday at the doctor's office, and I was totally blown away by how much I pretty much have gained back everything that I lost, which to me was yeah, it's really hard to deal with because I do, I have a lot of, I've had one of my close friends this last year, one of my best friends, and he was 5 years younger than I was, died of a massive heart attack in his bathtub at his house.
Oh my God.
And, you know, and he left behind, 3 boys, all under the age of 15, and, it was, I don't want to be another statistic, and I don't want to be, because I mean, you guys saw there at the beginning. I think maybe it was appropriate that my daughter popped her head in right there at the beginning. I mean, because that's what I'm, my daughter's entering she just had her birthday. She's officially into the preteen years now, and I want to see her and my son graduate. And I want to be, I want to see my grandkids when I, get to that age. And to me, this year is about uh, getting back into my healthy lifestyle. Because when I was down to 283, that had been the best that I'd ever felt. I was able to run 3 miles without even having any difficulty. I want to get back to that point. And Sean and I have already talked with. Um, well, I just brain farted. Your girlfriend. Don't tell her I said that. But but that we're going to work on a plan for me to that I can get better. And that's my thing is, and to continue to, and also to just to kind of continue my spiritual quest of loving other people the way that Christ loves me, and expanding that love to other people and looking at them with the eyes of God instead of the eyes of man. So that was a lot, but that's what I want to accomplish this year.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
Well, so
that's something that's you're talking about the weight thing. That's such a big thing that a lot of people struggle with, and it affects other areas of the life. And
Mhm.
I know that's been a hard struggle for you, and I think you're gonna kill it this year. I really do. I mean, you got the support of me, Sean, Tony, everyone listening. I think you're gonna do it.
well, and I had actually talked to Tony at the wedding, and I said, "Hey, you and me need to sit down, do a Zoom or something. I want a plan that I can work with and that I can manage and that I can do." And I, you can blame the DNA, but in the end, I think it's a lot of it is personal responsibility, because I really don't have a problem if I say. And part of this is still from when I was back in that lifestyle. I never really have reacquired my longing for breads, or I mean, I say, hey, go without carbs, no problem. For me, it's like saying, hey, go without sweets. Oh God, I mean, it's like, but I mean, I've noticed this year that I can be what's the my sugar can go too high or too low. I'm not diabetic, but there's another word for it. I can't think of the term right now. But sometimes my blood sugar
Yeah,
gets too low, and I mean, I almost feel like I'm going to pass out. And so that for me is a warning to me that if I'm not diabetic, I'm pre-diabetic at best. I know my A1C levels were borderline at my last checkup, and so I know that is something that was another warning to me that, like, okay, I'm having too many of these episodes where my blood sugar bottoms out when I've really been working really hard, or if I've been working in the shop or doing something and I'm sweating really heavy and I'm not, so I mean that was enough of a warning to me.
Yeah, and I know based off our conversations, based off of, I think one of the most important things about it, V, when we've talked, is the first
Hypoglycemic. That's
thing.
what. Thank you, Colby Coleman. He just chimed in and said Yes, hypoglycemic. Thank you, Colby. Yes.
One of the big things that, I think it's different, especially when you're a parent. And a lot of the success stories that I've seen when it comes to any kind of change, whether it be physical, mental, spiritual, um, the first people that you talk about when it comes to this journey is your kids. And I think that that is um, a huge motivator that'll kind of help you understand and help you get to the goals of when you are a parent. It's no longer just about you. There are other people that it affects, and I know for a fact you're gonna um, really kill it. And I'm excited to um, talk with Tony and get free time from both of you guys to sit down and talk and share the resources. And even if it's um, in our own group chat just daily, hey, this is what I did so far today, and holding each other accountable to make sure, saying, hey, like, you guys, something better come in today. Like, there better be, what workout did you do today? What, let's see the
Yeah.
screenshot. Let's see the watch results. Like, let's see it happen. So um,
Our friend Colby
I
just
think
did.
that's awesome, and I know you'll kill it.
Our friend Colby just said you have to do it for you, and I agree. That's correct.
Yeah,
Hmm.
he's 100% right.
Excuse me, John.
Travis, were there any like specifics? Did you guys have anything specifically that you guys wanted to do or change, as far as
Yeah,
like resolutions go?
yeah. So I just kind of did a 2021 recap. 2022, I got some pretty big goals. But I would say the big things is one of you and me. I'm a fitness guy, so I would say my goals for this year are I want to do the CrossFit Open in March, and really do the best I've ever done at that. Really train hard for it, and I want to try a triathlon this year, something different,
Oh,
something to
that'll be
kind of
awesome.
yeah, something to kind of just something different. I started doing swimming a little bit like later last of this year, and I really enjoy it. So it's just something to challenge myself, not the same, just go to the gym and do the same BS all the time.
So
So I got,
what all is the triathlon? How much swimming, biking, and running is that altogether?
I don't even know the specifics on the top of my head. Uh, I've seen it before. I just know it's something I want to try.
Yeah.
So that's kind of something I'm going to try both of those this year. Got a lot of financial goals. I won't get too specific, but I'm really trying to make some life-changing stuff happen this next year. I've made some lifestyle changes recently, and I'm really gonna hammer down on that. And then we're getting a house, hopefully, at the start of this year. So it's kind of a step in the right direction, I think. And then Sean, I kind of touched on it with you a little bit before, but really trying to prepare myself for parenthood. That's kind of the next big step for me and my wife, and trying to just become the best version I possibly can of myself to get ready for that. And that's really on the list of things that's like the overall thing. And I just did an application to get signed up back for school. I'm going to start working for my bachelor's now. Bachelor's in history, V.
Yes, sir.
Um,
Yes, sir.
yeah, as of now, I'm gonna go for a. I already had my associates in business, but I'm going through the same school, and I'm gonna try to get a bachelor's in history with a minor in philosophy, and just try to take advantage of my GI Bill and get that done. It's kind of a no brainer.
Awesome.
And yeah, I'm gonna. As of now, it sounds crazy because I know I've talked with you about it because my job's kind of crazy. But as of now, I plan on staying there. They gave me a decent pay raise finally,
Good.
and I think I had my doubts with it, but now I have a better plan with it, and I think it's gonna work out and help me reach my goals. So those are kind of a few of the many things. And then Sean, you and I got the businesses going. That's definitely on the list. I really, get the coffee going, but also with for those that don't know, Sean and I have kind of a small startup fitness business. It's kind of really I haven't really promoted it a whole lot, but it's something I really want to work on this year. And just biggest thing with that is I want to help people. not just selling a service. I really want to help people, and that's something I'm going to be looking at next year and trying to figure out how to give people the most value and help more people reach their goals and stuff. So,
Awesome.
I'm super excited for this year. I really am.
And Travis, you do have to mention Travis. We have to mention, you haven't probably watched us on YouTube, but if you all look down in the bottom corner of our screen, you will see that Voice of Reason Podcast 2021 is sponsored by American Traditional Coffee and Van Beber and Son DJ Services. And as the fitness, we'll add another little spot down there for the fitness thing as soon as we get that developed. And so, but we all,
yeah.
and if you look on our description on YouTube, I believe on YouTube, it's on all wherever we broadcast to. You can click on the link and it'll take you to those pages.
And this is kind of a random shout out, but I've trained one client this year. Just to do one more 2021 recap. Lauren Lagerman, if she's those of you know her, if she's listening right now. I've been kind of working with her all year, and it's been a real learning experience because I'm trying to figure out how I want to do this thing, being online. But she has been awesome. She has been killing it. Like every goal we've set out,
Crushing it.
Yes, she
like
is. Yeah.
legitimately. I can speak as someone that's kind of sat on the side and have chimed in when Lauren's had questions if Travis has been busy. But with Travis's coaching, seeing some of the progress that she's had, like what some people might think are very small victories are legitimately huge accomplishments and huge victory. I'm not even exaggerating when I say, and not to throw Lauren under the bus at all, but at the start of when she first started working with Revolution Barbell and Travis, had some shoulder issues when attempting a pull-up, and through the programming and training and talking with Travis, and my very small bits of tidbit information here and there has legitimately corrected that issue and is now crushing her workouts, and the results that I've seen that she's posted and then when communicating with us are freaking insane.
Yeah.
And so for her to kind of be a guinea pig, we're super extremely grateful for.
Mm-hmm.
But she really did go above and beyond, and I can't wait for to see her continue to do extraordinary things next year for sure.
Yeah,
And
Lauren,
Colby,
if you're listening, thanks for your trust, because we're new kind of at this, so it's been awesome, and I can't really take credit. I'm just the guide. She's the one that's been putting in the work and trusting us, and all her success is on her. I'm just a guide. That's how I see myself as a coach, and so I just want to give her a special shout out. And it's been an awesome learning experience, and
well deserved.
Yeah, next year we're gonna help more people, hopefully.
And to answer Colby,
Yes.
Colby Coleman says, "Will you work with fat guys?" And Colby, he does do that, and just contact Travis on you can message him, and he can reach out to you, or you can reach out to him. But we'll put that together, definitely.
Absolutely.
But
absolutely, yeah.
So, what are you seeing, Sean, for 2022 in specifics?
Yeah, so I've got quite a laundry list. One of the big things that I'm going to look to start, it's kind of been something that I've thought a lot about recently, and I think that it will help me tackle some of these goals. And I'm not going to lie, I'm extremely nervous. But I have been talking with doctors, and in 2022, I am officially going to try taking ADHD medication. It's something that I've been on the cuffs about with for a couple of years. I've always been a in and out, very squirrely. Procrastination is one of my weakest kind of kinks in the chain, and I've just been doing more thinking and praying on it, and a lot of research, a ton of research on if I think it'll be for me and if I think I could benefit from it, and if I think that by doing so it can help me with a lot of the other things that I have planned. So I'm at least going to try. So So that's going to be one of the big scary things that I'm going to attempt, just because the way my brain works, the last thing I want to do is kind of dull the spark that goes on inside of it. And so that's been one of the big things that has kind of kept me away from it. But I'm at least going to attempt it and then see how I feel after a couple weeks and months, and see if it's something that I want to continue or not continue. I have that choice. So, but aside from that, things that I can't, necessarily put stamps on, but I want to be a better dad, a better boyfriend. I want to work one-on-one more with Julian. Um, less TV time, more dad time, more time, and same with Tony. Like when we've always been really good about communication. I will humble brag on that for a minute. Tony and I are very good at talking with one another. If we have disagreements or arguments, um, we are very good at being able to communicate them to one another face to face, as opposed to trying to dodge around anything like that. So I want to keep that trend, and then I just want to be better at communication, and a better here in the moment boyfriend to her, as opposed to not just checking my phone or doing something on Twitter. Really engaging and with her is a big thing. um, I also want to connect more with my faith, do daily scripture readings, daily devotionals. um, I have not done anything like that before in my life, and as I naturally, as a father now, and um, a boyfriend, I look to God a lot more than I used to. And so finding smaller ways here and there for me to just build that connection more and more, is something that I'm interested in. I've got a goal to read 12 books. I've brought a couple here to share. So if anyone wants to follow along with me, as the months go by. I've got 8 that I'm going to list off for you guys now. So if you need time to, accumulate them, if you're even interested in reading them along. Um, the first one that I'm going to tackle is it's called Grit by Angela Duckworth. And this was a book that was given to me by my good friend Jay, The Power of Passion and Perseverance. And I'm really, really excited to kind of dive into this one. It's a book about, when you might doubt yourself, kind of ways to get through some of that. Another gift book was The 5 Mistakes Every
Yep.
Investor Makes and
And
How
how
to
to
Avoid Them.
avoid them.
Good
Yes, there you
freaking
go.
book. Good book.
Yep.
I got halfway through it and got extremely busy. So again, Hank, thank
Hank.
you.
Yep.
I'm excited to dive into that one. Another book was the third book I'll go through was a gift from a friend Corey, Setting the Bar. This is by Shane Schroeder, Preparing Our Kids to Thrive in an Era of Distraction, Dependency, and Entitlement.
Wow.
As a father, I am excited to dive into this one. It talks about kind of how to involve your kids and how to speak with your kids in a world where TV, cell phone, internet really kind of is the forefront, and how to communicate better with the younger generation, because I still feel very young. My knees don't, but when I talk to high school kids, when I'm visiting them, I'm just a fogey, and so I'm
wait
kind of
till
interested.
wait till you get to my age.
Um, yeah, after diving into those, I'm gonna switch it up with some entertainment. This is the novel to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood by
Oh,
Quentin Tarantino. Loved the movie. I think I'm gonna love the book. Um, After that, the remaining ones that I have packed away. I'll just read them off real quick. One that I have read several times over, and this is the year that I really want to deep dive into it, and the philosophy behind it. Total Money Makeover, by the one and only Dave Ramsey. Um, American Marxism by Mark Levin,
yes,
is a great
yes.
book. In Order to Live by Yenemy Park, which is another one that I have read. Um, and The Four Agreements by Don Ruiz is another great book. So I'll post pictures and screenshots of these on the page later, if people are interested in kind of following along with what I'm planning on reading this year. And then if you do, even if it's audiobook, even if you're just listening to them, and if you guys leave a comment saying, "Hey, I read the book, let's talk about it," I'd be more than happy to. on some of these podcasts.
I am currently working on the Enemy Park book that you mentioned right now.
Yeah. As for other goals, like Travis has said, we are both planning. We are jumping into a contest. It is called the I Want Abs Max Effort Contest. Yes, and this one I'm really excited for. Mentally, I find myself in a really good place, and I think that this is the year that I could genuinely attack it and just work my butt off. And even if I don't win the coveted prizes that are at the top, I legitimately want to start it and finish it and be proud of that alone and in itself. And if there are rewards that come with it, cool. But I'm mostly just focused on doing it and accomplishing it. Um, I also am getting back into classes. I start classes January 10th. So I plan on finishing my bachelor's and then rolling right into my master's. Um, so I am going to be a pretty busy bee with that as well. While on top of that, another big jump is I will be completing my Nasm personal trainer certification as well. So it is going to be quite the I've taken it's been about a 2.5 year hiatus from education. So I'm kind of nervous about getting back into doing essays and doing homework and doing discussion groups and all that stuff. Um, I I have also set a couple other goals, and I'm my good friend and old roommate with Travis there, my friend AJ. He and I have made a goal where we plan on making hopefully at least once a month or once every other month doing short films, working together to create our reels, him for filmmaking, me for acting. We plan on doing one in January or February that's going to be hilarious, and I am super excited about getting that one done. My goal is to do at least 2 self-tape auditions every single month through Casting Networks, Actors Access, and anything that I get through my talent agency to continue to get the name out there. Um, and then, the last thing I have on here is quite literally, it's in big stars. Focus more on marketing, promotion, and growth of coffee, podcast, and fitness businesses with Travis and V. So that is one of the big things, like Andy was saying, we are up to 500 likes here on Facebook. We have over 100 unique listeners to the podcast. And I am excited to see that grow. I am excited to watch the coffee business grow. I'm hoping it's not even a hope. I'm going to structure myself and become better organized of making time daily to promote these things, to work on these things, to be a better entrepreneur, to be a better businessman, to be a better recruiter, and to really grow a lot this year. One of my other big ones I completely forgot is my last one. I'll stop rambling. Is to by the end of the year have $0 in credit card debt. So
Oh yeah.
we
Yeah.
hope to have that one knocked out. It's not like there's a crazy amount that I have now, but just with how the world works with
Yeah.
budget and everything, it can be a little tight at times. So
I'll
getting the leg up on that is a big one for me.
definitely tell you guys, and that is something from someone who has been around the block a few times. Credit card debt was something that we're starting to get a relatively better hold on. And one of those things involved moving here to Louisiana to help pay more stuff down. So I tell you what, if you, and this is just to forewarn people, and people hear this all the time, they just kind of roll their eyes at, but I will say this: you don't have to have it right now. If there's something, man, I want that. For me, it's electronics. I want the new MacBook Pro, or I want the. I was at my brother-in-law's this weekend, and he has a 74-inch what they call those OLED
OLED.
OLED TVs. And I mean, my wife said, "Would you like a handkerchief to wipe the drool off your face?" And I was like, it woke me up because I see something. Oh God, I've got to have that because I'm the worst at impulse buying. And for a lot of people, credit card debt is that's a big one. That's a big one. And I think through all of these things that we've all three said here, I mean, the message is definitely true, is to make better versions of ourselves. And, whether that be through weight loss, whether that be through financial management, or if it's through education, you know, I think part of the reason why that America has gotten to hell in the handbasket is because we've gotten comfortable with complacency and where we're at and and if something doesn't exactly fit the way we want it to fit, then we complain and pardon my French, but bitch and moan about it instead of making, because as we said last week, Sean, I mean, it starts right with us. It starts right with us. I mean, we can always say, well, look at this, and I can say, man, well, my wife's a good cook and all that. I was like, well, no, you can have one serving. You can have, you don't have to swing by the ice cream joint or something. I mean, it's just stuff like that. Or, man, haven't had the time to go take that class, or I haven't had the time to pour into this project. I mean, we have to stop making excuses and start accepting our own responsibility.
Yes, sir. Big time.
Couldn't agree more.
And we nailed it right at 1 hour right there. So there you go.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah. Gentlemen, first, and I'll say it again. Travis, it's awesome to have you back,
sir.
man.
I love you, buddy.
It really, really is. Yeah, a lot. We love you a lot.
And again, my pants are starting to rise again, so just let's not talk too much about it.
Okay. Yeah, I can't wait to see where we go this next year. We're not even at 1 year yet, and
getting close.
I would say where I envision this show being, I think we are ahead of that curve, and I think that with three of us taking that initiative and tackling it in 2022, we're going to knock it out of the park, and this show will become better, and even more rewarding than it already is. So, I truthfully, I am extremely blessed and happy that this has worked the way that it has, and now that we've got the band back together officially, it'll only go up from here. But gentlemen, before we sign out, before we say goodbye to our listeners for the week, is there anything that you two would like to add at all?
Thank you, everybody, for making 2021 really great for us. It'll seem weird calling it Voice of Reason Podcast 2021 when we're in 2022, but we'll figure that out when we get to
Are you gonna keep it 2021, or are you just gonna take out the 2021?
Well, we'll just say Voice of Reason Podcast, but for branding purposes and people can find us, we'll say 20. But we'll just say Voice of Reason Podcast.
I think it sounds smoother.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But no, thank you guys for listening. I'm back officially. So you guys will see me next week.
Awesome.
And really looking forward to kicking off the new year with you guys, and hope everybody accomplishes your goals.
Yep.
Everyone listening, I really believe in New Year's resolutions. So yeah, I hope next year's everyone's year.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Well, gentlemen, our listeners, it was awesome to talk with you all this week. Make sure if you guys do give us a listen, you guys check us out everywhere, whether it be YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Google Podcasts, wherever you do your listening, even if it's right here on Facebook. Please, your New Year's resolution should be give us a like, give us a share, click subscribe on all of our different platforms. Be a friend, tell a friend about the show. That is the way that we can grow and always bring you guys more content. It's been a blast, and we cannot wait to see you guys next year.
See you.